Why Infanta Sofia looks wild compared to Princess Leonor, truth revealed. The royal video that broke the internet and shocked Spain. Just last week, photos and alleged videos claiming to show Princess Leonor of Spain behaving like an ordinary young woman outside of her military duties began circulating across social media, from dance floors to weekend nightlife spots, sparking a firestorm of reaction. Within hours, the hashtags were trending on TikTok, illustrated screenshots were flooding Instagram stories, and tabloid headlines screamed about a wild Spanish princess letting loose. But behind the roar of commentary lies a much deeper story, one that intertwines royal duty, media sensationalism, identity formation, generational culture clashes, and the unprecedented scrutiny placed on a 20-year-old future queen. This is not just a scandal. It's a moment that could redefine how the world sees Princess Leonor, and how she chooses to navigate her public and private life under the spotlight. The viral story everyone's talking about. According to various Spanish media outlets last week, photos and reports emerged claiming Princess Leonor was seen enjoying youth-oriented social nightlife, dancing, smiling, and letting her hair down like a typical 20-year-old. The source: a Celebrity magazine article asserting that Leonor, when off duty and out of her military uniform, behaves like any other teenager, attending social venues and interacting in ways that contrast sharply with her usually formal royal image. These images spread rapidly, attracting millions of views, shares, and intense debate worldwide. But is this really the raw truth, or a sensationalized misinterpretation of a moment in her life? To answer that, we need to peel back the layers. A princess under 24/7 scrutiny. Princess Leonor is not just any young woman. She is the heir apparent to the Spanish throne, trained not only in protocol but also in military discipline, currently in her third and final year of comprehensive armed forces training, including the Air Force branch. For comparison, when other royal heirs are seen enjoying a night out with friends or teammates, it barely makes international news. But anyone in Leonor's position automatically becomes symbol, institution, and media spectacle, even at age 20. This means nothing she does escapes analysis. Understanding the context, what really happened. So what do these viral pictures actually represent? At the heart of the controversy lies a viral magazine feature, not an official palace release. The article in question cited unauthorized paparazzi photos and unverified claims from sources close to Madrid nightlife, saying Leonor was seen out and about with peers, including reportedly visiting a nightclub. Crucially, none of this was confirmed by the Spanish royal household. In fact, the palace has not issued any official comment about these alleged social outings. That's an important distinction, one that is often lost in the rush to judgment online. Military training versus normal youth culture. To understand why this story ignited such intense reaction, consider Leonor's schedule and public image. She has completed extensive army and naval training, entered the Air and Space Academy for aviation preparation, spent months aboard training ships and with naval forces, posed in military uniforms in official ceremonies, signed the Academy's Book of Honor at the Air Force Base, begun aeronautical coursework and flight simulator training. This represents years of discipline, structure, and serious duty behind the scenes, far from the typical college or social life of most 20-year-olds. So when any imagery appears that suggests a normal social life, it clashes sharply with the rigorous expectations of her public role. Celebrity culture meets constitutional monarchy. Social media often pinpoints these contrasting elements as if they reveal something hidden, as though Princess Leonor is leading a double life. But this framing misunderstands two central realities. Photo leaks and unauthorized paparazzi content are often staged or opportunistic. In many cases, images come from random nightlife venues, not curated public appearances. A royal can have a private life without it invalidating their duty or discipline. Normal social interactions don't negate military training or constitutional responsibilities. The palace historically keeps personal and professional lives separate, especially when dealing with media narratives. This is to protect both privacy and institutional integrity. Why people see wild where there may be nothing. When Leonor is seen outside formal duties, especially out of uniform, the internet often labels her as behaving wildly. But this reaction reflects broader dynamics. Youth culture. People expect 20-year-olds to socialize and express energy. When a public figure appears to behave like that, viewers may project wild onto it. Monarchy expectations. Royals are traditionally reserved and formal. Any deviation can be exaggerated as scandalous. Media sensationalism. Publications know that controversial phrasing equals clicks. It doesn't necessarily equate to truth. This context is crucial for interpreting sensational headlines. The double standard royals face. There is a notable double standard when it comes to royal behavior. Prince William or Prince Harry can be photographed in casual settings and it's accepted as normal life. Female royals, especially those in line for the crown, were often held to stricter expectations of restraint. In Leonor's case, her future role in Spain's constitutional monarchy intensifies that pressure. The palace response, or lack of one. What's perhaps most revealing about this whole situation is what the Spanish royal household didn't do. There has been no denial, no clarification, and no official statement about the viral narrative. Is that because the story is false? The palace is ignoring paparazzi rumors. The timing and optics weren't right to address it publicly. Or because the palace wants to avoid feeding the narrative. We can't be sure. But silence from the palace in such controversies is often strategic, choosing not to amplify unverified claims. The real public reaction. Social media reaction divided sharply. Fans defend Leonor. Many see this as a hostile attempt to mischaracterize a young woman whose life is already under intense scrutiny. Critics amplify. Wild narrative. A smaller but loud segment treated the claim as confirmation that Leonor is rebellious, even though no official evidence exists. Neutral observers call for context. Some people recognize how easy it is for photos to be misunderstood, miscaptioned, or manipulated. This range of reactions reflects how emotionally invested the public is in Leonor's image. The hard reality of growing up in the public eye. If there's an underlying truth to this controversy, it is that Leonor, like many heirs, is growing up under a microscope. At age 20, she is balancing intense military training, taking on official duties, representing national unity, navigating public perception, maintaining composure under global scrutiny. Add to that the fact that her generation lives on social media, and the potential for misinterpretation is enormous. Has the princess actually been wild? Here's the essential point. No credible report from official sources, verified news agencies, or palace statements has confirmed Leonor engaged in inappropriate behavior. What circulated are claims from a celebrity magazine based on leaked, unverified images. Rumor does not equal reality. Leaks does not equal proof. Viral attention does not equal evidence. Understanding this distinction is vital. How the palace protects private life. Royal households have long learned that addressing rumors directly often makes them bigger. In many European monarchies, the strategy is ignore unverified claims. Let official engagements and duty speak for themselves. Release positive, controlled content. This approach avoids fueling speculation. The bigger narrative, modernizing royal image. Whether or not these photos were genuine isn't the real narrative. The larger story is about how modern monarchies coexist with social media, youth culture, and public expectation. Princess Leonor represents a new kind of royal. Young, educated, militarily trained, media savvy, constantly scrutinized. This makes her a symbol of transition, from old monarchy to modern institution. Why clickbait often traps smart viewers. Many online claims use sensational language to grab clicks. Wild royal behavior. Princess caught partying. Royals out of control. But as savvy viewers know, headlines are designed to attract attention, not necessarily reflect truth. Always check source credibility before drawing conclusions. What loyalists versus critics say. Supporters argue. Leonor is a role model. Youthful photos don't define character. Military training and duty matter more than gossip. Critics argue. Royals should maintain perfect conduct. Any casual behavior is inappropriate. Behind this debate lies a deeper question. Should future monarchs be allowed normal social experiences? Comparisons with other young royals. Look at other royal heirs. British royals attend public events, play sports, date publicly. Scandinavian royals engage with the public, social causes, and youth culture. The key difference for Leonor is not her behavior, it's the intensity of scrutiny that comes with being Spain's future queen. The real impact on her image. Far from damaging her reputation, this episode highlighted how quickly misinformation spreads, how easily public perception can be shaped by images without context, how vulnerable royals are to narrative spinning. It also showed that millions of people are still deeply invested in her life, online and offline. That in itself is newsworthy. What this means for the future of the Spanish monarchy. If anything, this controversy underscores a larger truth about modern monarchy. The institution must adapt to a world where social media amplifies every moment. Rumors spread faster than news. Personal life intersects with national symbolism. Public interest is unrelenting. Leonor's generation of royals will have to balance authenticity and professionalism like never before. Lessons for royal fans everywhere. For readers, this episode teaches us: don't believe sensational headlines without verification. Understand the difference between rumor and fact. Recognize the pressure public figures face. Appreciate the complexity of royal life. Princess Leonor's story is not a tabloid chapter. It is a study in public perception management. Conclusion: the truth behind the viral, wild claim. Last week's viral story about Princess Leonor was not really about dancing or social life. It was about perception. About how media frames narratives. About youth versus duty. And about how a young heir is constantly navigating public space, both official and unofficial. Princess Leonor's life is one part personal journey and one part public institution. She does not owe the world perfection. She owes her nation service. And in the end, that is a far more meaningful story than any social media rumor. If you want to stay updated on Princess Leonor's life, training, and official engagements, including context beyond the headlines, subscribe and click the notification bell now. Because the real story is just beginning.